what's the difference in your experience of your own company, of your own creative process, now that you've stepped into this more expansive state of being?
So the company is chugging along. It's fine. It's very stable. We've got great team of employees, and just the joy of the gratitude essentially of working with a good team of people is also really wonderful. So it's like a different perspective of everything. And then just creating from the place of love and joy and putting that item out there. I mean, it always was putting out an item of joy, but to really connect to it and really feel like what you are creating is something that is a way of sharing love with the universe, is, I guess, a way of sharing this bigger meaning to what one does.
Yeah.
But in terms of the meditation itself, so every day I do meditate at least an hour. If I could do 2 hours, it's even nicer.
Okay.
But it's like a beautiful, blissful feeling. But it's sometimes even helps to, I don't know, sort out roadblocks, things that happen in your mind, and to really parse apart kind of issues and see what is the bigger picture in everything. But sometimes if you're not, you're not thinking, you're basically stepping aside to let whatever it is come through as a message. And so sometimes those messages solve these sort of problems or questions that you have come up. And I am feeling like right now I'm at a stage where, okay, so I've done the creativity thing, I've got the employees and everybody's happy, and I'm feeling like there's a path that's fine, and it's great. But as I get into this meditation, I almost feel like there's a bigger, even yet another soul purpose. There's a career purpose, but what is that soul purpose that's calling for me to do something more, or what's next?
Yeah.
So in a way, that is what I'm sitting with. What is the next? What is the other way to be in the world? Which is bigger than us, bigger than ourselves. It's like, how do you be?
Is this about having, like, this impact on, like, I know you shared with me that you're, also somehow guiding or maybe acting a little bit like a mentor for people. Is that part of possibly this next step for you, like this purpose?
Yeah, I feel instinctively it is, because when you're in this state of bliss, the best way to describe it is I feel abundant. I feel happy and healthy and joyful, gratitude. And so it's the next inevitable feeling is, how do I share this with people? I want other people to have the same beautiful feeling. And so whenever it's possible, I guess I love to just share that with people, whether it's fellow designers, friends, people who are stuck, your family, whoever it is how do I share this way of being, whether it's sharing how to meditate, talking about, helping figure out what brings them joy, essentially. Any little way how you be in the world is a way to share that. Just to share that with people.
We are very, very happy to allow people to sell, at least as long as they're selling from their heart, as long as they genuinely can provide what they can do. We want to give people a platform to do that. So the event itself, the next event itself, is at the end of March. And before that, there's 3 days training. So people who join us through January, February, March will go on that training on that 3 days. They then take part in helping to run the event over the weekend. So they actually get trained in event planning, event management, running the Zoom room or whatever it is, the different bits and pieces. Then they get to speak at the next event, which is in June after that. So they will come back, they will have time to practice, they'll have lots of feedback, and then they get to their turn to be on the stage at the next event.
That's amazing, because then you're seeing the event from being on stage, but also backstage. and how everything is organized. That's awesome. So maybe you're raising a next generation of coaches who are also gonna organize possibly live events, and yeah, that's awesome. It's like it reminds me of throughout your journey, you were saying about this underlying love for people and helping people, and that at some stage you're really finding that alignment between that value and the what that really helps to do that in a more expanded way. But not only are you doing that, but then you're how do you say it? It's like you're duplicating yourself in a sense. So like it's not, the message is not just you to someone else. It's like you to someone else, and that someone else is spreading it out as well. It's amazing that it's
yes, I think one of the things that we really, really want is that when people come to the training, they get to know other people who are in a similar field or a similar way. And then during the event, we concentrate on 3 areas. One is the sort of business, one is health and wellness, and one is the family and relationships. And so we're hoping that the coaches who come on the training will actually begin to realize that maybe they could run an event. They could run an event if their family and relationship, sort of, that's their world. They could get together and they could run an event where they could actually help each other, promote each other, and touch more people, basically. That's our goal, to drive that forward, so that there are increasingly more people who are confident enough to go out there and really share their message.
That ripple effect. Because it resonates with me with really our journey as learning about who we are, and finding purpose, our mission, and that mission lives beyond us. And like if I compare from at the start when you said like when you were in the police forces, it was all about having that one person say thank you, like for having had an experience of being treated like a human being. So it's like very much one-on-one. And now it's like through your impact that goes tenfold through the ripple effect that it's creating. So yeah.
Yes.
We are at the stage that you went on your own, so working with clients. But how did the transition then happen to you helping other practitioners?
That's another one of those pivotal moments. A tiny bit of backstory. When 9/11 happened, I elected to go back to school for an interior design degree. And I loved it. And it was definitely, it's like being around art for me. It was beautiful. So I was doing a lot of that. And at the same time, on my career path, I was getting a little antsy, a little bored. Yeah. Even though I was doing what I was doing well. And so I kind of conquered what's next kind of feeling. So I decided with my brain that I was going to not do body work anymore, and I was going to switch career paths, and I was going to go do interior design. And I remember sitting it was late at night. It was dark outside, dark inside. And I was sitting at my desk with a light on the desk, and it was quiet. And I was doing some work for design. And I was thinking in my head, do I want to be leaving bodywork? Because it's so easy for me. And not everything about design is easy. I mean, some of it's kind of hard. And, people get emotional about their money when they're buying, spending it on their house. And I was like, no. This is right. I mean, most people have an average of 6 career paths in their adult life. I've only had 1. I'm behind. I should. Yeah. I should. My ego. I should switch lanes.
Yeah.
And in that quiet, with my mental just chattering going on, I heard a louder baritone voice that I heard one other time when I was a teenager just about to get into some grave trouble. Doesn't matter what that was, but I heard that voice then. And here I was as an adult in the quiet of my adult home, and I heard that same baritone voice say, you may design. It's beautiful, but not at the expense of what we gifted you.
Ooh.
And I was like,
Whoa.
that's what I said. And so I knew that it wasn't like, no, you cannot do design. It was like, go do you, and you've been chosen. We gave you this gift. And then it kind of it got clear that that's what I had been saying, that body work was so easy for me that I was kind of bored because it was just so easy.
Yeah.
But I was creating tremendous results for the patients I was seeing. So how greedy to want to take that away from them because I was bored.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that voice was saying, you can go be entertained because design is entertaining you, but we've chosen you. We've given you this gift. So I gave me pause for sure. And I thought, okay, well, what else could I do that would be entertaining to me? Oh, I would move to New York. Okay, well, that's better than switching career paths. Okay, got it. And ultimately, when I got to New York, that was the state I was getting a license in, and you're not permitted to work in that state until you're licensed. So I decided I was going to spend my time getting more educated in the meantime. And it's like, that's what I do, you know? And so I was taking some courses, and I was also engaged with a business coach.
Okay.
I was working with this business coach, describing to her the work that I do as a body worker and what I was there doing in New York, etc. And she said, oh, so you have a method. And I mean, I roll like, what? New Yorkers, like they make everything such a big deal, you know? And I just resisted. I was back into that, like, no, like that resistance for, you know, no. I was judging it. And so to get her to like just quell the conversation, I agreed. I had nothing but time on my hands. I'm going to go meet with some lawyers. I met with a general practice, trademark, and patent attorney. And we all sat around this table. And within the first couple of minutes, they're like, yeah, you have something. A patent would be harder and longer and probably more expensive, but we could trademark it now in the process. And I was like, what? What? And so I had to, you know, humbly go back to my coach and be like, I was wrong. You were right. And now what the hell do I do?
Yeah.
And so that trademark, recognizing that I did have a method, took away the boredom that I had, and it took me back to purpose. And then the business coach said, well, you have something that's real, you share it.
Yeah.
And I thought she meant what I had already come to understand about me being bored as a body worker doesn't mean take away those results from my clients. It means find a way to be re-inspired again. And what she meant was, and re-inspire other practitioners, because you're not the only one. The average career span in your industry is 6 years, which I already knew. And I was like, oh yeah, I could help us all. Everybody wins. So I was just a little bit, you know, like needing a new zhuzhing.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how to spell that. It's, you know, a little sprucing. And so this was it. And I thought, wow, this is big and purposeful. Like
But
I get to
also,
continue.
yeah, sorry
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt, Gina, but that it was to re-inspire you, but like it was also to impact more people.
Yes. Yep. The ripple effect was huge.
Yeah.
So not only did I get re-inspired, but I was back to helping and serving the clients that I had and other practitioners and their clients.
Yeah.
And then their clients' lives.
Like,
Yeah.
Talking of a ripple, yeah, the ripple effect. Yeah.
Huge. And it was because of that voice that said, we gave this to you. It's a gift. Go share the gift. So that was it. That's how I got to train other practitioners.